your hats, strap down the rod. You've tuned in to The Fin, the Fishing Insider Network, your new online source for fishing.
This week on the Fishing Insider Network, Brian and I are headed south, I mean way south, to the southernmost tip of Louisiana, Venice. And we're fishing with Captain Kerry of the Outer Limits Charter Service for giant tuna. Leaving the mouth of the Mississippi River early one morning with cameraman Doug Cottle and camera boat operator Doug Flatley in tow, we headed out to hunt for these giants of the sea, yellowfin tuna. One of our first stops was around 20 miles out, where we hooked up with some live bait. With a few friskies in the live well, it wasn't long after that I'd hooked up with a big tuna. Check this out.
Feels like I got a freight train on into this thing.
You do.
These guys are like just pure muscle. Like dead weight. Yeah. You get them all the way cranked in, and then they run again. This took me about 15 minutes to land. What do you think, Captain? 75, 80?
Yep. Good fish. Real good fish.
They look like a submarine.
Yeah.
So when they come out of the water, you can't see them when they're up like this. It's when they turn. That's why you hear the phrase, the captain says, if you got color, that means you can see the fish. So it's probably what, 20, 30 feet down?
Yep.
When you get color? Magnificent. Absolutely magnificent.
We headed to another spot after a few more drifts, and that's when we struck gold. Brian had just landed what was about a 50-pounder, and I saw a school headed right toward us. I jumped up toward the bow, grabbed the big Shimano 700 and a big Yozuri popper, chunked out there, and as they say, the rest is history.
Oh! Topwater! Mama! Hey, Captain! What do I do? I mean, just jumped out of the water and just hammered that sugar. Hammered it. Bingo, bango!
Pretty good. When those fish come up to feed, they'll be feeding on little bait fish, and they'll come up and bust the water, ambushing bait, and basically you have this topwater bait, throw it out there, and those feeding fish, and it's just amazing what they do.
Man, they just hit it so hard, and when they do hit it, I guess they're running at you after they hit it, and you think, I've got slack line, I've lost the fish.
Right. Well,
and they're just running down deep, I guess.
what happens is they're trying to come out the water to ambush that bait, and they're just throwing the bait down their throat, and they're running the opposite way you're reeling, so you think you have slack in it, and it's just amazing what they do.
What size line was I using? Like an 80 pound?
You had 80-pound Power Pro attached to an 80-pound 4-carbon leader,
Right.
to a 5 7/8 Yozuri Hydro Popper with the wide mouth is the one that I like.
Now, the reason we cannot catch wahoo on this bait is because the wahoo will saw through it real quickly with their teeth, right?
Correct.
So we'd have to have that on a steel leader to use the topwater for wahoo?
Right. Like the one we hooked a minute ago, and it took everything, broke it off.
Twice.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
If you're gonna go fish for some giant tuna and you give Captain Kerry a call, you might want to get some of these Yozuri hydro poppers. This is the bait that I was using when I caught that big tuna when they were schooling. There's two reasons I think this bait really works good out there. One is the reflecting qualities. This is chrome with a blue back, and it's so reflective, I think that even in 2,000 foot of water, these tuna come up, they're getting a little glimpse. They're hearing it on the top, and then they get that shimmer of that shine on that chrome. Number two is the way this is built at the front, the nose of it. It's cupped like a chugger, but if you rip it like a wood chopper, like when you're fishing for peacock bass, just kind of rip it down, this really sloshes the water forward a lot. So those tuna can see it and they can sense it up there. I don't know if they're really hearing it, but it's displacing water and they see something happening. So you're gonna catch a tuna if he sees this hydro popper. Until next week, I'm Dave Masterson for the Fishing Insider Network.
Yozuri hydro popper with the wide mouth is the one that I like.
Now, the reason we cannot